Ladies and gentlemen, when I'm in the streets interacting with the people, I find some Kikuyus blaming themselves for voting President William Ruto back in 2022. And I also find some other communities as well feeling that Mount Kenya were not supposed to vote for President William Ruto. But when I look at the way things are right now, I feel that those who voted for Raila Odinga and those who voted for William Ruto, it's all the same, in the sense that right now they are working together. Raila Odinga is defending the UDA manifesto, Ruto's moves, high taxation, housing levy, plus many other things. But now, I know most of you are asking yourselves, how did the Mount Kenya people arrive at voting for William Ruto back in 2022? I've done some bit of research, gone to the ground, asked people, and I came up with a summary of 5 points in a way these people decided to vote for President William Ruto back in 2022. And that is what I want to take you through. But before I do so, if this is the first time you're watching my videos at Mukwa Times, please feel free to subscribe, like, and comment, because that is the best support you can give this channel. Number one in my list, ladies and gentlemen, it is the support that William Ruto gave Uhuru Kenyatta from 2013 all the way to 2017. Ladies and gentlemen, if you all remember very well, William Ruto and Uhuru Kenyatta were facing charges against human rights in the ICC. So these people had a history together. But regardless of their state, Uhuru Kenyatta registered his interest to vie for president. And the people of Mount Kenya accepted. Ladies and gentlemen, Uhuru Kenyatta needed someone to support him as well from other communities, at least to make him president. And Gideon Moi could not. Raila Odinga could not. William Ruto came up. Of course, they had their own discussions, but supported Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. When we were heading to 2017, we all know that after the first round, after Uhuru Kenyatta had won, they parted ways. Until when the court nullified the elections, then they came back and started pushing for the campaign again. The fact remains that they were not in good terms. But William Ruto decided to stick with Uhuru Kenyatta to the end. And in fact, William Ruto did campaigns in the country a lot. He could go to 3 or 4 counties in a day. They used a lot of money for the campaigns. That was a clear indication that William Ruto supported Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta. So when it came to 2022, the people of Mount Kenya could weigh. This gentleman called Ruto has supported our president, our Mudhamaki. But this one called Raila Odinga has never supported him. He opposed him, both in 2013 and in 2017. He not only opposed him, but even then he pushed for a case in court that led to the nullification of the 2017 general elections. So they settled comfortably on William Ruto. And that is how they left Uhuru Kenyatta's candidate, Raila Odinga. That was the factor number one. Number two, Uhuru's handshake with Raila Odinga. First, Raila Odinga took the blame for Uhuru's flaws in his government. We all know that during Uhuru Kenyatta's time, there was also excessive borrowing. During Uhuru Kenyatta's time, cost of unga went up to 250. You all remember that? Ladies and gentlemen, Raila Odinga by then was in the handshake government and he could not say even anything about that. So people were watching. How is Raila Odinga behaving with Uhuru Kenyatta while in government? And they noticed, if we bring in Raila Odinga, it will just continue the same things that Uhuru Kenyatta has been doing that are hurting Kenyans in some way or the other. So by the time Uhuru Kenyatta was supporting Raila Odinga, the people of Mount Kenya had made a decision. Raila Odinga cannot lead us. Raila Odinga tried taking elders to Siaya, taking elders from Siaya all the way to Nyeri, but still it did not work. Apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, the history of Raila Odinga and the people of Mount Kenya is not good. You opposed Kibaki seriously. Despite supporting him, you opposed him seriously in 2007. So a lot happened. They have a history that they cannot vote for Raila Odinga. In fact, Gachagua even came out and said that come rain, come sunshine, Raila is unacceptable to the people of the mountain. People took it for granted. And I always tell you that whatever Gachagua says, he says it authoritatively knowing that's what the ground is saying. So in a nutshell, during that time, the people of Mount Kenya still, regardless of Uhuru Muigai Kenyatta working with Raila Amolo Odinga, still also the people of Mount Kenya had the other reasons to reject Raila Amolo Odinga. So it was not their candidate. Perhaps if they could have brought another candidate, someone was arguing to me that if Matiang'i could have been at the ballot back in 2022, probably it could have been a different case right now. Another thing, ladies and gentlemen, it's poor succession. The succession politics of Mount Kenya was done poorly by Uhuru Kenyatta. By the time he was exiting, he had not groomed someone to come and take it up. So he left a certain gap that could not be filled by Martha Karua, because Martha Karua was just a running mate of Raila Amolo Odinga. So she was brought in by Raila Amolo Odinga. So, ladies and gentlemen, Mount Kenya needed someone to step up. And that gap, Gachagua identified it and took it up. So it happened that by the time Uhuru Kenyatta is realizing that Gachagua was taken over, it is too late. So that poor succession made the people of Mount Kenya say that, now that Uhuru Kenyatta did not give us someone, Gachagua here has emerged. Let us die with him. And that is how also Raila Amolo Odinga was able to be beaten and William Ruto get supported by the people of Mount Kenya. Apart from that, it is William Ruto's tactics. This gentleman was always available for the people of Mount Kenya. He was always in Mount Kenya. Every Saturday, every Sunday, he had a church service that he was attending there, singing and praying, quoting verses. So all these things where they were happening, William Ruto was creating certain connection between him and the people of Mount Kenya. So such a kind of an association with the people of Mount Kenya made William Ruto look to be far much more closer to the people than Raila Amolo Odinga, who went there a few number of times. Another thing, ladies and gentlemen, is the church. The church gave William Ruto a platform. Most of the influential pastors, bishops, reverends, ladies and gentlemen, they supported William Ruto. They gave him a platform to campaign. There's a church in Nairobi where William Ruto's pictures and videos were playing in the background on a screen as the pastor was preaching. A clear indication that they were really devoted to support President William Samoei Arap Ruto. Apart from the church and the presence and his accessibility, because we know very well William Ruto was very accessible to the people of Mount Kenya, ladies and gentlemen, also William Ruto used a very good, soft and humble language to the people of Mount Kenya. Mimi nataka munipe tu miaka 5. Nisipoweza msinirudishe. Lakini nikifanya kazi mnipe ingine 5. Alafu anacheka. The people of Mount Kenya. So ladies and gentlemen, that is how it worked. Eventually you realize that now William Ruto received the support of the people of Mount Kenya. As simple as that. Another thing that led to William Ruto winning also the Mount Kenya region, it is the Gashagua's factor. Some of you say by the time Gachagua was coming in, William Ruto had taken the mountain. Yes, to some extent it's true. But now, kuna kuweka vitu kwa nyumba, alafu kuna kuzifungia ndani ya nyumba. So Rigathi Gachagua did what you call locking. He did his campaigns majorly in Lamu, where Kikuyus are dominating, in Mount Kenya as well. And he did serious campaigns. As Martha Karua was in Eldoret, was in Kisumu, Rigathi Gachagua was in the Mountain Kenya region. He was in Nakuru here, went to Nyandarua, went to Murang'a, went to Nyeri, went to Kirinyaga, went to Laikipia, holding meetings with the people of those regions. And eventually that is how, ladies and gentlemen, he was able to help lock the Mount Kenya region. Apart from that, Gachagua also offered some defense to utterances from what we call the Azimio team. So the moment they said something, he could counter. Uhuru Kenyatta akiongea, ana counter. So as a result, the people of Mount Kenya remained solidly behind President William Samoei Arap Ruto. I don't know what is your take, but on the comment section, share with me on what you think made the people of Mount Kenya to vote for President William Ruto. See you next time for more videos.